Be careful with this one, please. Sorry. Plywood. No problem. Cameras are rolling. Good evening, everyone. We have with us Indian captain MS Dhoni. Before we start this press conference, I would request all of you to check your phones once. It should be on silent or discreet mode. Indian team will be traveling to Bangalore tomorrow, so there will be no media activity and no practice session. And as you all know, I am sure there are a lot of questions, but apologies in advance. I won't be able to take all of them. So I hope you all will understand. Thanks for your understanding. Amit.
How do you explain Virat Kohli gets to run on cricket tracks, skipping tracks, what sets it apart according to?
No, I think he will be in best position to answer this, but whatever I can answer, I'll try to answer. I think it's the hunger to perform, that willingness to take up the challenge. Every opportunity, different people look at the same thing in different ways. That famous example of half glass of water. Whether it's half full or half empty, how you see it. And I feel his biggest plus point is he takes everything as a challenge. He wants to improve. He wants to contribute in each and every game. And that's what it's all about, because he wants to contribute. He wants to score runs. He prepares well. He takes care of his fitness. He knows, he understands now in different wickets how he's supposed to bat so that he can score runs. And we all know once he gets going, once he gets a start, he always converts it into a big innings, which I feel is one of the most important thing for any youngster, coming into the game. When you're scoring runs, make sure you score a lot of runs, because everybody will go through a bad patch, and what you have to do is try to minimize that duration. And the best way is, when you're going through your purple patch, make sure you're scoring a lot of runs.
Chetan.
I just an extension of this question. When Virat has spoken a lot of times about how he goes about chasing a target, breaks down into small targets, taking in consideration number of overs, wickets, whatever calculations in his mind. When batting with him or watching from the outside, how do you see him building his innings? Let's say in the T20 context at the moment, because it's been all T20 cricket. So how do you see him from the outside building his innings?
It's very simple. What an innings is all about is how you're converting. When you're under pressure, there are few ways how you tackle pressure. At times we have seen in Test cricket or ODI and T20 format, when there's a lot of pressure, often individual, they go for the big shot. It seems at that point of time that that's the best option. But when you're under a lot of pressure, the best way to deal with is to take a single, go to the other end. Because that calms you down. At the same time, you have that positive intent because you're looking for a single. And you know your areas, and everybody knows what their strength is. For some it's a flick, for some it's a cut. So if it's in your area, you have to play your shot. If not, try to take a single, go to the other end. And if you see his batting, that's what he really does. And where he has an edge over others is, you have to push hard. That's why, he loves batting with individuals who can run hard with him. Because running hard is the easiest way to score runs. You hit it in the mid-wicket, between long on and mid-wicket. If you have two good runners, you can convert that 1 into 2 or 1.5 runs into 2. And that puts a lot of pressure on the bowler and the fielding side. So that's what it's all about, how you calculate, what are the stuff that you need to do. And of course, you need to bat, minimum 70 to 80 balls, to score 100. Yes, in the T20 format, we have seen 15 or 16 ball 50, but I'm saying on an average, you need to bat that many deliveries, and for that you have to prepare yourself.
Neeru.
Is Suresh Raina your best option at number 4, especially in conditions which are tough?
Well, that's a very obvious answer. People don't score runs in 1 or 2 games. That question will be asked. If Shikhar doesn't score in 1 more game, the question will be why not jinx 2 open and Shikhar left out. So I feel it's important to back players, and at the same time, if you see, there are too many people who need to bat at that number 3 slot. If you compare the stats, especially when it's happening in India, you'll see there are a lot of individuals who should bat at 3, but Virat gets an edge. And in the same way, I think he deserves that number 4 position more than anyone else. I feel it's important to back him. Yes, there will be tactical changes when he won't get that slot, but overall, I think he's the best option.
Keeping in mind the paucity of time, I would request to keep your questions brief. Kaushik bhai.
Just how much did the surface take you by surprise? What kind of adjustment did you have to make as a captain? And just an explanation why not 4 overs first?
Well, initially we never thought it would turn so much. Reading of the wicket, I thought there was a bit of moisture because they had watered the wicket yesterday, and I don't think they got much sun today. And the last time when I saw the wicket before the start of the game, I felt it was quite damp. And even when you roll the wicket, the top surface may look a bit good. It's more like a cosmetic thing because underneath there was a lot of moisture, and I feel it was because of the moisture that the spinners were getting a lot of turn. Even the balls that were bowled in quite hard, but if you hit the seam, you can turn the ball, and that's what Jadeja and Ashwin did. And as far as picking is concerned, the Pakistan batsmen, they're good players of spin bowling. And later on, I felt, there was a chance if I would have given Ashwin, they would have gone after him. I'm not saying he can't deal with it, but I went for the safer option. I said, even if some other bowler goes for 10 runs, I'm fair enough. I don't want to give them a big over, something where they can go in excess of 15 runs. I'm not saying he couldn't have bowled, but that was the thinking at that point of time, and I went for the safer option, though it conceded 12 to 15 runs.
Sanjeev.
भाई अभी हमारे पाकिस्तान के जो जर्नलिस्ट फ्रेंड हैं उन्होंने अपने शोएब मलिक से सवाल पूछा कि 11-0 हो गया है इंडिया के अगेंस्ट में, क्या करें कि हम उसको उल्टा करें अब। तो हम ये पूछना चाहते हैं कि ऐसा इंडिया की टीम क्या करती है कि पाकिस्तान के खिलाफ जरूर जीतती है।
नहीं, हम सारी चीज़ें सेम रखते हैं, एंड इफ यू आर प्राउड ऑफ द फैक्ट दैट हम 11-0 उनसे जीते हैं, तो एक रियलिटी ये भी होगी कि हम हारेंगे, कभी ना कभी हारेंगे, चाहे आज हारे, 10 साल बाद हारे, 20 साल बाद हारे या 50 साल बाद हारे, बट ऐसा नहीं हो सकता है कि यू विल ऑलवेज कीप विनिंग। एंड ऑल्सो हमारा टीम अगर आप देखें तो काफ़ी इवॉल्व हुआ है, एंड समहाउ आईसीसी इवेंट्स में हमारा परफॉर्मेंस काफ़ी अच्छा होने लगा है, चाहे आप लास्ट चैंपियंस ट्रॉफी देखें या वर्ल्ड कप देखें, तो काफ़ी अच्छा परफॉर्मेंस हमने किया है, तो वो भी मायने रखता है। एंड आई फील वी हैव प्लेड गुड क्रिकेट, एंड दैट्स द रीजन, बट इट्स समथिंग टू बी प्राउड ऑफ, बट एट द सेम टाइम आपको अपनी तरफ से हर बार उतनी जोर लगानी पड़ती है, जैसे उनके ऊपर प्रेशर हो जाता है 11-0 का, हमारे ऊपर भी प्रेशर हो जाता है 11-0 का कि 11 जीत गया, यार 11 जीत गया, 12 तो जीतना ही है, इट्स लाइक अरे नहीं जीता।
Question from here.